last few videos I didn't really name because they were rants and I was drunk. I don't drink really anymore, but I'm not gonna say it. I never would or anything, or I never will. So I had like 1, 2, 3 drinks at most, and it wasn't even. I was just hanging out, and that was the first time I drank in a while, and I was ranting, but I was also, making jokes and being serious and all kind of just being crazy. Anyways, I'm about to call and see if I have cancer or some other crazy disease that makes it so I can't breathe and all these other problems. You can see my eyes probably look, I don't know if you can see me. My eyes probably look like I'm stoned all the time. I was looking at it in the mirror. It looks like, if you look at my eyes, this is difficult to do. If you look at my eyes, they're really bad. I just woke up, but before I went to bed, they were just like this, and they're assuming they'll be like this forever and probably maybe get worse. Maybe they'll get better, I hope. Anyways, hold on. So, what I'm doing is, I want to make a video a little bit about science. I have a bunch of science notes, and not so much science, but what can be equated into science, and could be called philosophy, or I don't know. I call it the equating model, the equating principle, or don't even equate, because I'm equating everything to zero, or everything. And that brings me to the point, and that is that if something happens, it either happens all the time or doesn't happen at all. And obviously, those two things, everything and nothing, ultimately are the same thing. Everything starts with nothing, and it breaks in half. So it goes from nothing to two things. And from there it can split off and to however many you want. The reason there's not one is because 0 is the same as 1. Having nothing is like having one thing. And the reason we can't describe it is because, as one of my science notes says, is that any attempt to describe it is really, you're trying to work with in this dimension of millions and upon millions and upon millions of branches of this. And you're trying to, one little branch that is speech and English language and stuff, and trying to go all the way back to the starting point. Now, there's another thing that says that you're always instantly connected. You don't have to wait for the speed of light or anything to get back to the 0 point. And all this is, as far as I know, well documented, already known. Although a lot of really smart scientists, so-called smart scientists and stuff, have completely just told me I'm crazy, and yet it's right there in the textbook. The only one that will say that, you got to watch out, because there's so much these disinformation people or people with huge egos who really want to know everything, and they don't understand because they're contradicting themselves ultimately, and maybe they do realize it, maybe they don't at a conscious or subconscious level, and they anyways aren't worth my time in this video to go further on with. But basically, what I'm saying is true, and yeah, that's the reason it doesn't get picked up on, is because it just didn't have these credentials of, I haven't kissed enough people's asses to get into it, or been born into privileged families or with money or whatever. And I've seen these kids that do nothing, and adults that do nothing all day. By nothing, I mean like they just, completely, they don't maybe not realize it so much, again, consciously, but, so-called consciously, but they're actually, I guess, hurting people all day, and then in subtle ways, making things difficult for people who are trying to do the right thing, or that's pretty much what they do, and they see as they're tricked into believing that it's a joke and they're having fun and it's the real world and this. Kitty, I think you did something. My cat just stepped on the keyboard. There's Rush. She's doing so well, isn't she? Yes, yes. Hello, hello. She's saying hi to the world. Hi, world. This may have 0 views now, but I will get more views in the future. And I hope that this future people can keep this going. Maybe, hopefully I'll be here. But, hopefully y'all can keep it going and keep my site going. I'm going to give out the password and stuff to my mom's. So hopefully everybody can keep it going and into the future. And, and keep my videos alive. People use Zamzar, if anything. Or, like I do, I use, to transfer videos, I use this little thing right here, that's how I can get video, and that's how I'm getting video in right now, and audio, and this other one does the opposite. So that one, they're both by Gigaware, and the resolution of them, is better than a VHS. There's still pixelation occasionally, but basically, and that's it, man. I guess I just have a cold or something, but I was called into the doctor anyways to freaking, not that I'm trying to go off the subject, looking at my time, okay, but, he personally, I guess, called my mom's house and said that, because that's the number I gave, and then he said that, hey, I need to be seen in right away, because I had a blood test and urinalysis and stuff there, so now I gotta call in a few minutes and try to get an appointment so I can go in there, because they refuse to tell you over the phone, even though it's something that they can tell you, and I feel more comfortable and all over more convenient doing it over the phone and all over, yeah, blah, so, anyways, I gotta call there and go in, and I try to go in today and see what's up. I know something is going on with me, but I don't know what they can tell me about it. Anyways, so this one will record video out from the computer. It's got obviously those cables, the Y out, CV out, and CR out for the video, and it doesn't do audio, this one, but you can just use the line out in the back of the computer there. I can't even, the line out is somewhere back there. Right, so you use one of these cables that has one of those on the end. It goes from a headphone jack to a audio video plug like these. People call them RCA, military plugs, whatever you call them. Use a regular headphone jack like this to one of those for the sound through your speaker jack. I'm sorry, through your regular speaker jack. If you have a pair of loudspeakers or speakers with a headphone jack, you can run the sound out. Plug one of these into the headphone jack on those. But sometimes you lose audio quality when it's plugged in through things like that. So for the audio out, to get audio out, you're going to use one of these, meaning plug a cord. I like to use this one, this video out. You just, again, take one of the audio video plugs, military plugs, RCA plugs, whatever you call them, one of these, okay, one of those plugs. You can get them for like, I've seen them at $1, I've seen them at the dollar store for $1. The Radio Shack is usually pricey on them, maybe $10, but anyways, they're high quality there. It doesn't matter. I found them on the side of the road before. I think they're really easy. If they break, you can literally twist the two ends together of some broken ones, and they'll work. So, anyways, get one of those after you get this, and then plug that in there, and then plug the other end into a. I'd say I used to use a VCR, but I would say one of these. And I'll explain what this is in a second. Actually, I'll explain it now so you don't get confused. That is the line in. So, line into your computer for audio and video. So, though you can also use the line in, my sound card or the program or for some reason it does have an option for a line in, but for some reason I can't get my line in to work with combination with that, or else I might be probably using it, or at the very least, although I don't know how I'd use it and use them both at the same time. That would be cool. Anyways, because then I could do some. Then I could. Oh, that wouldn't make sense. I was gonna say then I could like crossfade, meaning play them both at the same time and fade them in and out. Maybe something in the sound options. Anyways, it would be easier to just hook up a little equalizer and a little crossfader, and do it myself. Anyways, through one channel. Anyways, so you're gonna go out from there, and then make sure this little button is powered on. If anything goes wrong, hit that little R, and that will reset it. Also, when you hook it up, that's not going off. Okay, it's off. Also, it does have some neat little. It comes with a little remote, and it's got neat little. It's got the zooming isn't specific, so you can't like zoom in on a. Well, you sort of can. It's a little complicated, but when you zoom in, it only has like one zoom option, so it only will zoom in to one zoom mode, and then you can sort of move the screen around to kind of fit stuff, but basically it only has one zoom, the full screen mode, or the zoom in mode, which is just zoomed in to the screen times maybe 3 or 4, and then you can sort of move the screen around. I'm doing a hand motion, like you can move the screen around. Can you hear me from here? I hope. Looking at my time. I gotta go to the next video. I will explain how these things work in the next video and stuff. So I'll be back.